Greetings and love, greetings and happiness. Ah, life and me. I think life and me goes on and on, you know, because most of the time I'm truthfully a loving and kind person. But that doesn't mean I won't feel or understand my emotions. That doesn't mean I don't know what emotion intelligence is. Um, why I'm bringing up this topic now is I heard that a little incident happened with my kids, with one of my daughters at her school. What I'm saying now is when I hear this, I was like, what? No one said this to me because, if someone had said this to me, I would be like, all right, kids are being kids and they're growing and they're learning and they're trying to understand what's working in the world. No one said anything to me, not the other parents of the other child, not the school, or not my ex wife. The thing that I'm trying to say is it would have been good for someone to say, even the other parents' kids, because they saw me a couple times. Uche, I don't know if you heard, but I'm very sorry about what happened. Or the school reach out to me and say, Uche, this happened. I'm very sorry. Or even my ex-wife, because she know I do my regular 2 to 3 months checkup with the girls. My big daughter, yesterday, I said to her, hey, did anyone touch you on your private area? She said, yes, one kid. I understand they're kids, bruh. But why I do this is not because of the kids. It's because of growing up. Kids are exploring, and I understand, that they're growing. I was a child once. And then we talk to them and try to guide them to do the right thing. My problem I had with that, as I said, was no one reached out to me and said anything. When I was disciplining my child at some point in their life so they understand that things was wrong, I didn't try to abuse them, I didn't try to hurt them or damage them. I'm a caring and loving person, but they need to understand when stuff is wrong. When the school find out about that, they didn't call me first. They called child's social security, I think. Yeah. And when they did that, once you do that, you didn't even call me first. Once you did that, that's a stamp on your record. So for me now, at this point, it's hard to get a job even with that on my record. So I'm like, yo, you called childcare the first time, and then you called me after. You didn't call me when this situation happened. Yo, I observe a lot. I see everything that goes on, you know, but most people think I'm just, loving and kind and joyful and happy, and I don't pay attention to nothing. I went to the house today, and as God as my guide, God said to me, Uche, call the cops, and Uche, be very careful. So I call the cops, and when I call the cops, they come, they knock on her door. She didn't open it for them because there's a party I'm throwing for my daughter next week. So every Saturday I go for both kids, and we go out for something to eat, or we go and play, and just trying to show up for them and be a good parent. Um, me calling the cops now just for the escort to get my kids after we do that and she didn't open the doors, the cop said I should file a report. While they were filing a report, they saw that my ex-wife, Jessica S. Fox, took out something on me. And now I can get arrested for going to look for my kids. As I said, as of today, I told the cops I won't be going to look for those kids anymore. You know, I won't. And the reason why is you got the stamp that I'm a child abuser on my reputation. You stamp me again, and this person was the children of my kids, the mother of my kids. It's just so funny to see that I never hit her before. I raised my voice and I tried to be as calm sometime as possible. But because I blocked her from my phone, because every time we get in a discussion, she tries to argue with me, she tries to fight with me. She tried to compete with me, competing in cleaning the house when she's going to work and she's coming home tired and I am cleaning the house. That's not the way she does it. That's not the way she wanted to be done. Truthfully, I shouldn't have hung on to this relationship for so long, but I did. But now, because you did this, I definitely have to pull myself away from the kids, Yeah, as I was saying, I hold on to the relationship with my kids for so long. People don't even know, you know. Right now I'm in my storage space because I had to get this, because when I got this storage space, it was about 2 years ago. Yeah, because around a year and a half I've been homeless. No one knows, but it doesn't say anything. But I've been good to people and people has been good to me, so I have found somewhere in the last 6 months to, take care of myself, um, and be a good parent, which I've always been trying to do. But since she pulled this police record thing on me, I said it's time for people to know my half of the story. Because I know that everyone knows a certain part of the story, This is what really happens. Why I asked for the divorce. I asked for the divorce because I was getting in a place, I see myself getting in a place that I came from. Having multiple girls, cheating on girls with girls. And I'm like, yo, I don't want to do this again. I'm not a child and I don't want to be hiding behind anyone's back, And although at one point of my life, girls know about girls and I was dating them and it was cool and stuff, I'm like, I just want to be a parent and I want to settle down. I don't want to cheat on anyone. I don't want anyone to cheat on me. My girlfriends before that and my girlfriends after that divorce can see that I just treat them with kindness and love and try to make them laugh a lot. We play a lot. In my relationships. If you're not a playful person and a nice and calm person who likes to have fun, you're not going to want to hang out with me. If you are going to find yourself cheating on me at some point, I'm always going to find out. So just tell me, Uche, it's not working anymore, and you can go. I understand. You know, that's how I say to everyone. You know, so in or where I was leading up to it, this is I start to see a lot of plays, a lot of funny actions, and most of them wasn't even hiding anymore. Like one time we stopped with a family friend and we were talking in the street, and this person, she likes this person, and why she don't mind saying that she likes him, she pretend like she don't. So one day, the person that I'm talking about works at her workplace. It's her boss. While she pretends like she don't like the way he treats her, when she come home, she tell me about it, and I try to be a loving husband. I communicate, and I'm like, yes, this is what happening. This is this. This is that. I didn't know that this guy lives in our community. A couple, all the stories I hear, he lives a couple block down. I heard all these stories, and I didn't know that he lives in the community. One day now, we were with this family friend, and I was saying, yo, and we were talking, and he said, yo, I work down at this gym. And then I didn't even know that she knows that the guy live in the community. So she said to him, my boss or something work at go to that gym. Um Something about his time and his hours, and she started asking questions in front of me about this guy that she pretends that she don't like. I'm like, yo, how would you do this in front of somebody? You're asking about personal questions about somebody else, and your husband is right here. And I don't really want to get into that too much about what happened after, but I'm just going to skip through to other stories that happened, and I'm not gonna be long on it. I'm just gonna give the highlights of it. There was this kid, me growing up at a young age in Jamaica and certain country, you start having sex with females, at a young age. It could be young female or old female. Even if you just want to pay someone, you can pay someone and have sex. And no one has to know. So she is helping this young guy at the place that she worked. And this young guy, I never seen him before, but she said she's helping him, she's helping him, she's helping him. I'm like, all right, that's good. That's what you do. You help people. I help people also. And she helping him, I don't mind she helping someone. She's saying this, I don't mind. Females are not going to tell you who they like, and they'll tell you who they don't like. I learned that. So, I don't mind if you tell me who you like or who you don't like. I don't mind. But I don't mind if you tell me who you like or who you don't like. You know? I just try to accept that, yo, people are going to cheat and you can't stop them. So, one day, this guy got sick. So sick. So sick. And remember, I haven't tell you what's happening with her yet. She was also sick. And why both of them are sick at the same time? Alright, I don't even want to know. But what I'm saying is, this guy's in the hospital. And the thing with this guy now is, while he was sick, she bought up a lot of pills for it. No, she wanted to go and buy lots of pills for him. She wanted to go and do lots of stuff for him while he was sick. She was sick. I was taking care of her. She was so sick she couldn't move. She couldn't do anything. So I suggested, hey, I'll take this thing to the guy, like, oh, you're sick and I'm here taking care of you. You know, no, I can't. She has to do it. My wife is sick in the bed, bruh. My wife is sick in. Yo, let me take off them glasses, yeah. My wife sick in her bed. Take up for her sick self and go and give things to another man. Boy, me no know. But oh my wife, get up, dog. Get up out of bed. Sick. Me I take care of her. Sick in her bed. And go and give things to another man. We're sick too. As me say, I'm not gonna really stay too long on them story, yeah. But, you know, me I skip through. You see, more things happen, but I'm not even ready to say them yet. But me just show you, say, yo, life, while it has its challenges, there's multiple ways to approach it. I still never make that bother me, although she keep a little birthday party for him, and she bring my kids them there, and she asked me for come. I see all the way him did I look on her and a bag of things, and you know, I just be like, yeah, pretend like me not see you know, cause you have to know, say, yo, while you see things and him a text her while we did it, is it, may I say, yo, you're here with her, why don't you just talk to her, you know? But as I said, yo, I don't make stuff bother me. I didn't even much said anything about it that much. And yeah, but I think the last straw for me while I asked for the divorce was that yeah, I had a feeling she was still doing the same thing. And then I talked to her about it. She have a wandering eye, especially for a certain type of meal. I don't have to say who it is, but or the type of meal it is, but she does. When I asked for the divorce, it's because I was speaking to God and myself. And trust me, if God is telling you to move and you're not moving, you're going to get hurt. I wasn't moving at the time because I said I'm doing this for the kids. But one day we got in an argument. As I said, I never hit her. We got in an argument, and getting into this argument now, God says been showing me signs and I'm not listening, so he decided to make me lay down and couldn't move. So for 4 days, I think I got on my I couldn't move. Something was like it dropped me and I just couldn't move. I couldn't even get up one of the first morning. You know, so I took God's advice because, you know, God is God and were we to disobey God, you know? I said, all right, I'm going to listen to you, and I asked for the divorce. But long before I asked for the divorce, this was what happened that sealed it. I said, yo, I observe lots of things happen in my family, and I think we can make this work. I don't want it to get too bad that we have to get a divorce. So let's work on it. As I said, she have a wandering eye, and you know, yeah. One day, I don't know if she know that one of my friends saw her or what, but one day we got a new neighbor in the building. And this new neighbor, you know, pretty cool. I don't judge him, I don't judge anyone. But like 2 weeks before that, I talked to her about, yo, I want to break certain family traditions and and bloodline traumas and curses, I don't want the same thing to be happening over and over again, because you've been doing this and I've been talking to you and you weren't listening. Because you were doing this, I decided to fight fire with fire. And I think this is where I messed up with God, because I was falling back into old patterns. I never cheated on her before. I never cheated on her. But because she was doing all of these things, I started to fall into old patterns. I have like multiple girls been showing me their boobs. I haven't had sex with them though. I even have one of my cousin. I'm like, oh, you got good boobs also. You know. Yeah, I didn't do anything. But I did that. I'm like, no, this is what God was upset about. And then after we talk, and I talked to her and I said, yo, this isn't the way I see my life. I really don't want to break up the kids. Yo, just please listen to me and things are gonna work out. And the guy that just moved in the building, I said 2 weeks after I talked to her about all of these things, she saw him at the train station and she jumped and she hugged him. I don't know what kind of hug it was. I don't know if she saw that someone I knew saw her or something. But when she came and she told me. I'm like, yo, we just had this conversation, and with the type of person that you like, I didn't say it to her like that, but after that, no, God talked to me again, and God said, Uche, if you don't do it, if you don't listen to God and you don't want God to leave you, you have to listen. So I listened. I said I need a divorce because I don't want something to happen that's going to hurt me in the long run, and God is going to leave me because I didn't listen to him. And listening to God was not a hard thing for me, but I really don't want to leave my kids. I really don't want to leave them. I want to show up for them. As much as possible, I want to show up for my kids, but this is why I'm making this video, because I'm not going to be there anymore. I won't show up. If they want to call, they can call, but I won't attempt to call. She took out something on me that can have the cops lock me up. She threatened me about taking my kids from me. Look at me. Let me show you who I truly am. Just so you understand. Just so people understand who I truly am. Please look at me. Got a peel in my head here. And if you threaten me about anything else, I let it slide. If you threaten me about my kids, and you're going to use my kids against me, then that's the last straw. If I have to give up my kids and don't come around anymore, that's what I'm going to do. I wasn't raised with a mom. I wasn't raised with a dad. My granddad raised me. Most of the time, my granddad wasn't there. He had to go out and work. Sometimes he had to leave me by myself. Leave me with strangers. Lots of things happen, So I learned from my experience that, well, I can actually be by myself for at least 5 years without talking to anyone, without seeing people, without being in contact with people. I don't know why I love my own space that much, why I love talking to God more than everyone else. I do not know why I also love talking to myself that much. But I think it was because of the people I was raised with. And they show me that in Jamaica, you have to survive and you have to speak with God through your ups and through your down. But I've been going through so much all my life. God is my number one person to talk to. Second, myself. Third and fourth, my two daughters. And then in generally, I communicate with people and show them love, respect, and kindness because I love for people to treat me with the same respect, love, and kindness. I just want you to understand who I am. And I will always listen to God instead of anyone else. You can give me your opinion and I'll be like, that's right. God, what do you think about it? That's what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm an earth angel or something, but I see beyond this physical. I hear beyond this physical. And I live beyond this physical. Trust me when I say there's so much more things that happen. And I just wanted to highlight why I really asked for a divorce. It's not because of any of the other stuff. That was really horrible. That was really disgusting. That was really not fair to me. But yet, I show up and I show up and I show up for my kids. I don't go around spreading rumors. I do not go around talking about the parent of my children, the mother of my children. But since you are going to put me in a position where I don't get to see my kids, well, I'm highlighting a small part of who you are, Jessica Sarah Fox. Jessica S. Fox. I am highlighting a small part of you because you're making me feel bad trying to show up for my kids. You're making me feel bad that I blocked you. But you need to understand that I don't feel bad. I only feel sorry for the kids. The kids has to learn. In my defense, and God as my guide and my witness, He's speaking. And in my defense, only thing I can do is let them learn to survive. And if they ever want me, I will be there. But if you keep pushing me while I'm showing up right now, actually you pushed me away. You didn't let me be on the agreement that you had with the school. So you said that's why the school didn't notify me. That's no reason to not notify me about my child. When you thought I was abusing my child, you call who you were supposed to call, and then you got me a bad stamp on my record. Now you put me on the police radar again. You stamp me. You call police on me twice before. You call police, and one point while I was homeless at that time, and I was trying to explain to the cops that when they asked me, yo, where do I live? And I said, I live in the United States of the Republic. They got so upset at me because they don't know how to communicate to a person who is trying to say he's homeless, but they didn't understand. And I didn't want to show it to everyone that I was homeless in and around the building that was listening to me at the time. So I said, I live in the United States of the Republic, you know? And when I tell them that I didn't have an address, and that's why I didn't want to, before that, they got so upset at me and they sent you in. They sent you inside. The police they could have killed me, bruh. While you went in, you called the cops, you were upset, and they were angry at me. They could have killed me. They could have beaten me. They could have done anything to me because it was just me and them now. How I calmed them down was I had to start saying, yo, I am homeless. I just didn't want to say it in front of, and around all the peoples here. I don't want my kids to know that their daddy live nowhere right now, you know? And that was the reason why I didn't say I was homeless. And the police got so upset, bruh. So, these videos is for my safety. It's for my protection. Because I'm a black man living in America with a stamp that have child abuse on it, on my record, I never hit my kids to hurt them. I just, give them a spanking so they understand that, yo, how can the school call you as the mom and you didn't say, oh, Ache doesn't try and hurt his kids, but I can't talk to them sometimes because she can't talk to the kids. They don't listen. They do what they want. They treat her like she's a child, bruh. That's how I see Americans be treated by their kids. Like their child. They talk to them anyway. My kids, if they're with me, the big one take the little one and put her on the inside of the sidewalk, and then the big one is in the middle from me, so if anything, I can protect them. I watch Jessica crossing the road with the kids, and a blue car almost swing and hit the baby, because she wasn't holding her hand and she wasn't even looking at her. Come on, come on. I'm not trying to make anyone look bad because I haven't telling you the bad stuff that I should be telling you. I'm just highlighting being a parent is different than being a friend. Kids need guidance. Kids need role models and teachers. Kids need proper instructions. You think I would be upset if the parent would have just said to me, Uche, this happened? No, I wouldn't. If the school have called me, I wouldn't. They're kids. I am just upset and annoyed that as soon as possible, they called that I was abusing my kids, but they couldn't call and show me this. If you get what I'm saying, sorry. If you get what I'm saying. To my kids, I'm not upset at you. Safia, you tell me the truth and I love you for that. I do my regular checkup and I said, Safi, did anyone touch you down there? just to make sure no adults is touching my kids. That's why I said that. But knowing that she actually got touched and no one reached out to me, it means that I'm not a parent of these kids. Knowing that I've been stamped as a child abuser, I never hit my kids to hurt them, but they listen to me. And when we're on the street, people can say, yo, your kids are so amazing. They listen, they just move different when they're around you. That's what they say. Around you. That's what parents say, other people say. You know? Like when I'm walking with parents from baby school and I say, all right, you don't run to the straight edge of the corner, kids. You run to the hydrant and you stop until the adults get closer. And they're like, oh, you guys hear what Ife's dad says? You guys hear what Ife's dad said? Don't pass the fire hydrant. So everyone now has a new routine of how to travel on the sidewalk with their parent. We're going by and we're passing neighbor's yard with wild bushes. You don't know if they spray. So I said, don't go in there. You don't know if they're spraying. It has lots of wild weeds. Don't go on people's property. And if you even walk on their ledge, remember to turn around and say, thank you, house. That's how I raise my kids. And they do that because they understand that it's not their property. And if someone see them on their property, then they can be in trouble. I'm not perfect. And I don't try to pretend that I am. I just show love and happiness and be kind to people. I do not preach peace because there's only one way to find peace in this world. And it's finding it with yourself first. You can't start a war to get peace. You can't fight fire with fire to get peace. You can't raise your voice to get peace. But if you find peace within yourself and then you treat and share that peace that you find within yourself with other people, then you're going to teach people how to treat you. You're going to teach people what you find within yourself. You're sharing it with them. They're going to always want to come around you. They're always going to want to be a part of your life. They're always going to want to be learning from you and sharing positive and loving connection time with you. You know, I'm just saying right now that I don't like when people abuse me. I don't like when people mistreat me. I don't like when people take my kindness for weakness. Because as God, as my guide, I will talk to him and I will ask how to make this step to tell these people not to disrespect me. You disrespect me once, I'll turn this cheek. You disrespect me twice, on another cheek. I don't have 3 cheeks. I don't have 3 cheeks. I can't take another one. So that's where it ends. If you try and disrespect me the third time, I will let you know your place and where you stand with me. I let the parent, the mother of my kids, have multiple chance, more than how much I give anyone else. But this person treat me like she is the villain in my life, and she's going to wreck my life. It's hard for me to get a job, but I'm still surviving. I'm still going through, and I'm still giving the loving and kindness to everyone that they need. I don't know if she wanted to see me walk around mentally ill, homeless, or dead already. But what I can say is, I don't care what she wants. So now I'm leaving her with the kids. And as I said, this video is for my kids. And the only reason I'm going to post it on social media is I'm not going to be in their lives. But I didn't just leave their lives. I was forced out of it. I was forced out of their lives. So please don't think that this video is for you. This video is not for anyone but my kids. And because social media will always be here, because videos and tapes will always be here. While I'm not around, if they want to find something on their dad and why did he leave, that's why this is here. My dad didn't show up back. Amici Anobi didn't show up for me. Not once. Never seen that guy. You know, I've never seen Amici Anobi. I never seen him. He's from Nigeria. But it didn't make me weak. It made me strong. But just for my kids to understand that I didn't just leave. I didn't have a choice. And I didn't want your reputation, both of your reputation, to be soiled. I didn't want your mental health to be affected. So this is why I'm making this video. For my kids. And if you ever need me, Safiato Anobi and Ifechuko Anobi. If you ever need me, I'll be there. I will. Yeah. This is not easy to say, bro. That I'm leaving my kids. This is not easy to do. Most people in life will know that they're going through it all. And they take it like a champ. I did that. Take it like a champ. For my kids, I take everything that they throw at me. On my resume, the person who built it was my ex-wife. She was the one who tell me that's not how my phone number is. She keeps saying to everyone, he doesn't know his phone number yet. So she keep giving people my phone number. When she was helping me file for my mom, when she was doing everything else, she knows my phone number. She doesn't know my phone number when the school needed it to put me on the WhatsApp group so I can support and be there for my child, because she don't want me there. She don't want me to get a job, so she put the wrong phone number on it. I don't know if the email was wrong on the resume also, but you know, it just was so weird, you know. But I take it like a champ. I still show up for my kids. I start going there. I take them out Saturday morning, buy them treats, give them all them stuff that they You give them a little extra money so they can learn to save, you know? I give them a little $20 each every Saturday morning. You know, I try to do my best to show up. So now I'm showing up as much as possible now. You're getting more worse with me. Every day now you start fighting me harder and harder. Like I'm not supposed to show up for my kids. I just want you girls to know, if you ever want to come and live with me, just try and find me. Once I see that it's you, I will come out of the dark like a ninja or Batman in the middle of the night. I will show up for you. I will hear your calls. You just go to a police station and say you want to find your dad, and they'll always have my information. Even if I change my name, even if I change my identity, you'll always know it's me. I love you girls. Safiato, I love you. Ifechoko, I love you. And God, thank you for giving me the strength to survive. Yeah, I'm very thankful for that, because I'm not just surviving for myself, I'm surviving for when my kids call on me. And I'm thankful I can do this. As I said, I'm just posting this video. Anyone sees it, but it's really not for you. It's for my kids to understand that I didn't just live out of their lives like my dad did, like my mom did. You know, my mom was here helping, my mom friend was here for a while, and I was there. And I'm so happy that they learned what I've been going through, because I didn't speak it to them. I didn't tell them anything. What they learn and they observe. And they've gotten a piece of what I've been through. And they were like, nope, not cool. And they felt it. So girls, it wasn't just the decision of me to leave. And I'm sorry, I won't be showing up at your school anymore. I started, I was going to go and finish paying for your birthday party, Safi, but I can't. I don't know what's happening, because I'm not supposed to come by the house, and the police was knocking on the door so she could have come and talk, and she didn't. So I don't know what's happening, but I'm not going to fight to show up where I'm not needed. And this video is for you to learn. Once you saw that people is not treating you right, you leave them in their own mess. You leave them. You don't stay around and try to be the superhero who is going to save them from their karma, from their downfall, or from any tower, bridge, or building that's going to fall down on them. You do not stay. You leave them. I know you have a loving heart, Safi. I know you have a loving heart, Ife. And Ife, you would do anything for anyone for just them to be around you. That's a bad habit. Safi, while you love being by yourself like me, let me say, know when to let go of people, but also know when you need people. and know the type of people that you need around you. You can help people, but mostly help strangers. Help people that's not going to look back, that you're not going to look back anything for. God will still bless you. Also help your family and friends, but there is just so much that you can do for family and friends, because while they're there with you, they have their own problems. While you're there with them, you have your own problems. They don't know that. They don't know that. Yeah, people are not going to be focusing on you having your own problems too. So, girls, please understand to help people when you can, but also make sure you take care of yourself first. Thank you for calling a second ago. And I'm happy your party is still on, Safi. You look happy saying your party is still on. Still on. But yeah, after your party, I guess it's the last time. I definitely hang out with you guys for a while. Yeah, but make sure you have something to call me. Both of you have something to call me. So if you want me, I say call me. If you want to find me, go to the cops, go to the TV stations, and put out that you need to see your dad now, and let them broadcast it. I'll always be watching the news for you to come and say, all right, my girls are ready for me. So I'm here just when you're going to be ready. Yeah. It was nice talking to you girls. I hope you take this message and understand it, and just take good care of yourself. Yeah. Me daddy, me Uche, salute. Yeah, people are not going to be focusing on you having your own problems too. So, girls, please understand to help people when you can, but also make sure you take care of yourself first. Thank you for calling a second ago. And I'm happy your party is still on, Safi. You look happy saying your party is still on. Still on. But yeah, after your party, I guess it's the last time. I definitely hang out with you guys for a while. Yeah, but make sure you have something to call me. Both of you have something to call me. So if you want me, I say call me. If you want to find me, go to the cops, go to the TV stations, and put out that you need to see your dad now, and let them broadcast it. I'll always be watching the news for you to come and say, all right, my girls are ready for me. So I'm here just when you're going to be ready. Yeah. It was nice talking to you girls. I hope you take this message and understand it, and just take good care of yourself. Yeah. Me daddy, me Uche, salute.